He's more than just a splinker guy. This from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette on pitch arsenal changes for Paul Skenes. Skenes informed reporters that he's adding a pair of pitches to his arsenal this year, a sinker and a cutter. Two fastballs that the club believes will make him even tougher to hit from either side of the plate.
This is a high-end all-star pitcher.
Yeah, Harold, what would you think about trying to face Paul Skenes?
I think it stinks.
It would stink, especially if you give him two more weapons. That's pretty big news.
You know, I know from a pitching point, to be able to throw that splinker, the change-ups, sinker, off a 100-mile-an-hour sinker would be a great sequence of pitches. But I was lucky enough to play with Dwight Gooden, and he had a breakout rookie season, one of the best in the history of the game, and he followed that up his second year with a Cy Young. I don't feel any different about this young man. It seems natural that he will turn in a season for the ages. You can see there's a splinker there, some hard sinking fastballs. Watch this pitch. I mean, that breaks, it looks like 2 feet.
Sayonara indeed, Adam Frazier. It's a good thing you're teammates.
I mean, he's just, Adam Frazier, I read the quote, he said, I really just wanted to get in there to see what greatness looks like. He says, I don't have to do it anymore, but that was something.
Everything about Skenes, I mean, even you watch him play catch, he's got a grown man's body. I mean, he's I know it's a cliche, what they look like, and then you see it coming out of his hand, you're like, my God, nobody has a chance.
Yeah, we sound like one of the old scouts from Moneyball, right? He's got the right makeup and body, but he does, and there's also a joy to what he pitches / toughness and meanness when he's out there as well. It's a real great combination. It's going to be fun to watch him. I'll tell you how important Paul Skenes is. I haven't been to Pittsburgh in a long time, and I get my schedule where I'm going to do games. And the schedule was sent out and said, would you like to do Pittsburgh? Like, absolutely. Just with a chance to maybe watch him pitch.
Put your eyes on it. Yeah, I like that. Let's go into the planetarium and find a player that is still out there. Oh, yes. They call Alabama the Crimson Tide. Call him Deacon Blues. David Robertson, unsigned and available. See why.
I think this would be a great signing for a team like the Cubs. I talked about him last week. I feel like the Cubs, but they revamped their bullpen, bringing in Presley. Porter Hodge is already there, bringing in Thielbar. I think Robertson would be a huge addition. I understand he's 39 years old. Last year, threw a career-high 72 innings, one pitch to a 163 average versus that cutter last season, and had a 3 in the postseason. I think this is a guy who's proven in the league. He's able to keep his composure in big spots. I think he would be a huge addition to the Cubs bullpen.
You know, the 30-35 save days might not be there, but David Robertson can close for you. He could set up. He can give you length if you need it. I think he fits the bill for a lot of clubs. Let's go back into the solarium and through. I can't believe this guy's still out there.
Quintana.
Jose Quintana was great last year, down the stretch for the Mets in particular. Leading into his final LCS start, he had a .57 ERA over an 8-start span. So when the chips were down, when it was the highest leverage possible spot.
We got that full screen, Bill.
We got it right here, Harold. These were the overall numbers. Made 31 starts, too. He posted up sub-4 ERA. You get over 170 innings in this day and age of baseball, and you're accomplishing something. You know, there was a walk in his game about 5-6 years ago. He had a hard time coming out of the pandemic season, 2020. And in 2021, he spent part of the season with the Angels. He just wasn't sharp. He's been very good since then, and he, too, is still out there. Back up into the sky for another player that is still out there. Oh, Paul DeYoung is still out there. Keith Costas, give us the lowdown on his free agency.
Yeah, with a couple of teams last year, guys, and quietly put up some big power numbers similar to what he did early in his career when he earned that extension with the Cardinals and was an all-star in his third season. 24 homers and 445 at-bats last year. Only Gunnar Henderson and Corey Seager had higher home run rates among shortstops. Also played 41 games at third base for the first time in his career. So really a guy who could play all over the infield, including obviously his primary position of shortstop. Could really help any team that needs infield depth.
Yeah, and there are a couple of them that are top of mind. It's hard to believe these guys are still out there, and I feel like over the weekend we're going to start getting a lot of those text alerts that guys have signed one-year deals, maybe a non-roster deal or two among these veterans that we've profiled in this feature.
What's up, Dodgers Nation? we've got a bombshell report coming straight from Fox Sports about one of the best young pitchers in MLB. A name that, if the Dodgers land him, could completely change the course of our rotation. A true ace who is unhappy with his current team and has reportedly signaled positively toward joining Los Angeles. But the big question is, can Andrew Friedman pull off this magic? Before we break it all down, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything about our Dodgers. Now, let's get to it. Paul Skenes, the young phenom from the Pirates, is unhappy with Pittsburgh's lack of aggressiveness in the market and feels like he's wasting his time on a team that isn't serious about contending for the playoffs. According to sources close to the player, he has requested a trade, frustrated with the organization's unwillingness to bring in reinforcements. And this is where the Los Angeles Dodgers come in. The team is already in discussions to understand what it would take to acquire Skenes. According to reports, the pitcher sees LA as an ideal destination, making this situation even more intriguing. Now, why would Paul Skenes be an incredible addition to the Dodgers? First, let's take a look at his monster numbers in his rookie 2024 season. 11 wins, only 3 losses, a 1.96 ERA, 23 starts, 133 innings pitched, 170 strikeouts, and a minuscule 0.95 whip. This guy is an ace. He dominated the league in his first year and showed that he could be one of the best pitchers of his generation. Imagine a rotation featuring Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, Walker Buehler, and Paul Skenes. That would be an absolute fortress against any offense in MLB. Plus, Skenes is just 22 years old and under team control for several seasons, making this trade even more valuable for the Dodgers. Now, the big question, what would the Pirates ask for in return? According to initial reports, Pittsburgh is demanding a massive return, which was expected. The Dodgers have one of the best farm systems in the league, and the Pirates are likely asking for a package loaded with young talent. Sources indicate that their initial asking price includes Dalton Rushing, C, the Dodgers' top catching prospect, seen as a future All-Star. Landon Knack, RHP, a promising young pitcher who could be a solid rotation piece for Pittsburgh. Josue De Paula, one of the best young hitters in the Dodgers farm system. Andy Pages, CF, already MLB ready and could be a key part of the Pirates lineup. This steep asking price shows just how much Skenes is valued, but is it worth giving up this much talent? Analysis and opinion. Look, it's a heavy price, but we're talking about a pitcher who could be a true game changer. The key factors to consider here are both the immediate and long-term impact. If Skenes joins the Dodgers, the team will have such a dominant rotation that they could dictate the pace of the National League for years to come. Plus, Andrew Friedman has a track record of making smart trades without giving up the farm. Could he find a way to involve other pieces or convince the Pirates to lower their demands? Another important factor, Skenes wants to win. Playing for a team like the Dodgers, which is always in contention for the title, could be a decisive factor. Not to mention that he'd be in a much bigger market, with more exposure and a real shot at winning a World Series. But now I want to hear from you, Dodgers fans. Would you trade this package for Paul Skenes? Or do you think the Dodgers should hold on to their young talent and look for another approach? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video with other fans, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you next time, and go Dodgers!